you're getting their first glimpse of Isotopes Park. What have you heard about this place? Because this place, I'm sure has some stories.
For sure, I've heard a lot about Albuquerque and the Isotopes, and really the whole PCL is, I've heard more of a hitter-friendly league, with altitude and things like that. But just, excited to be here, excited to, start a new journey with a new team, a new group of guys, and just continue to play baseball in a new fun place.
There's two ways to look at being told and being the reputation preceding itself with it being a hitter's park.
Mm-hmm.
You can come here and just try and enjoy it, or you can come here thinking like, oh man, I have a chance to do some things. I'm curious, are you going to try to maybe elevate the ball a little bit more because you know it can fly out? Are you going to do anything different, or are you trying hard just to keep doing what you did even at sea level?
Yeah, it doesn't really change a whole lot. I think it kind of helps. I wouldn't say it really is going to change my approach a whole lot. I think hopefully it'll kind of help me out, even when I'm not trying to. But, for me, it's just about putting together good at-bats, situational hitting and things like that, but then just being able to get my A swing off in as many counts as I can. But I wouldn't say approach will change all too much.
You were dealing with hand and wrist injuries last season. But you had a promising spring training and all. How is your physical health heading into the season?
100%. Feel good to go. It's been refreshing, to break camp and not have to stick around like I did last year with the broken wrist. And it's refreshing to be able to get out here and be with the group and the team as a whole and get to kind of, start the season and have a normal timeline. Just lucky to be healthy and excited to be here.
Are you adjusting anything at the plate?
Just continuing to roll with what was working for me in spring training. I think I had some good at-bats there, had some good things going. But, every day will present a new challenge, and so it's just kind of your ability to adapt to each new challenge that's put in front of you. So, but for right now, doing good.
We're a couple of years removed from it now, but just Golden Spikes, draft status, all that stuff. I mean, at this point, how do you kind of manage those outside expectations?
Yeah, that's something that's kind of followed me for a while now, and something I'm pretty used to. But what I've always said, and I think what I'll kind of continue to say, is just that I've kind of always held myself to a high standard, before all those accolades and all the status came around. Back when I was, junior, senior in high school, I was holding myself to a high standard just to have a chance to play college baseball. And so I'm just going to keep continuing to do that, expect a lot out of myself. I know everybody else expects a lot out of me. But, I'm here to play for the team, win for the team. And, I expect a lot out of myself, so it doesn't change a whole lot.
I guess can you just talk about your approach heading into this season? Obviously, Albuquerque is not the place that you'd want to be, and the Rockies have shown, if you are a top prospect and you're performing, that they will promote you. So, I mean, obviously you don't want to be here for too long, but just can you kind of just walk us through where your head's at in regards to that stuff right now?
Sure. Everybody in the clubhouse here wants to win wherever they're at, and so each of us have been assigned here to start the year, and we're excited to get out here and try to win some games. But as an organization as a whole, we're trying to win games in Denver. And so that's what's probably most important. And so as soon as you can get up there and help the team out there, that'd be a great goal. But, just day to day, it's hard to, be like, oh, I'm trying to be somewhere else. Like right now, I'm trying to be in Albuquerque and I'm trying to play the best baseball I can right now.
And then just given where, the Rockies organization is as a whole right now, I mean, you have an opportunity to really make an impact. I mean, how much does that excite you heading into this year?
Oh, it's huge. To be a part of kind of a new regime that's kind of turning around right now. We've already seen big changes just from things that were going on in spring. But to be young and upcoming in this organization, it's a huge opportunity. I think we've got a good young core of guys that can really promote this whole thing and then have a good foundation moving forward.
Hey, you're one step from big leagues. That's got to be in the back of your mind the entire time, isn't it? Knowing how close you are.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but it's something that's going to come whenever it needs to. I've felt like I always play my best baseball when I'm just worried about the game tonight, which I know we're not playing today, but just waking up every morning with like, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put my best foot forward tonight. If I play great and I'm still here, that's awesome. I'm playing great. So for me, it's yeah, sure. It's something that it crosses your mind here and there, but right now I'm just trying to go rake to start the season.
Now, unlike the thick, humid air of Georgia, this is pretty dry, high altitude.
Yeah,
you got to be salivating in the chance to play in this, though, don't you?
No doubt. I've heard great things about how the ball flies here and all that good stuff. Excited to just get out here and compete, and if that helps me out, then that's awesome.
I know you just got here, and obviously, spent time in Arizona and stuff, but how much of a culture shock has it been, going from being a Georgia boy coming out here to the Southwest?
Yeah, it's funny. So after I got drafted, my first stop was Spokane, Washington, which is polar opposite corner of the country. So kind of got thrown into that whole situation pretty quickly with being far from home, being in a place I've never been before. But it's been fun for me. The Rockies stops are kind of all over the place. I mean, you go from northwest, northeast, back here to southwest. So it's it's exciting to see new places and be in new places. But we've got a good group of guys here, so kind of always feels like home wherever you're at.
You play first, third, and outfield. Have the Rockies given you a primary focus for the season, or are you preparing to move around the bases regularly?
Sure, yeah. I don't think there will be a specific position that I'm playing the most. I think it'll be a heavy dose of corner, outfield, and first base. And hopefully I can continue that, at every level. If I can keep doing that at the big league level, that'd be great too. Just, continue to be an asset that can move around and not be kind of pigeonholed in one spot, but just trying to be versatile. Yeah.
How is outfield treating you so far?
It's been good. Getting out in Arizona, it's high sky out there, tough sun. That's one of the tougher places to play. Outfield is in spring training, just in general, so huge to get reps out there and kind of have those uncomfortable balls hit at you. And the more you catch them, the more you see them, the less uncomfortable they become. So it's felt good. I've played a lot there in the past, but didn't it all last year, so it's more just like knocking rust off as opposed to, hey, this is a new position for me. So that comfortability is coming right back, though, and I feel good out there.
Okay. I was just going to ask, for fans that have, obviously heard about you, heard your story, heard about all the accolades and stuff, what are they actually getting out of Charlie? Like, who are you as a baseball player? What are they about to see?
Yeah, it's, I try to be a guy that can bounce around defensively. I can play first base and corner outfield, and then try to be a middle of the order bat. A guy that can produce, a guy that can slug, but can also handle the bat and get the job done in certain situations. So really just hopefully making some loud noises and, just making some good decisions.
I am curious about the expectations that you say you place on yourself, and people have been talking about you since the Georgia days, but you, 2 days ago, I think, guy on CBS Sports and his big, bold predictions. You know what I'm talking about? The prediction he made of you?
No, I did not.
That you're going to be number 2 on the Rockies home run list this year.
Is that right?
That you're going to have the second most home runs for the Rockies, which is an interesting thing to say for a guy who's starting in Albuquerque.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? I mean, there are expectations for you, and the expectation is you're probably not going to be here long.
Yeah.
Do you have that same expectation?
My expectation is to go out and play my best game I can on Friday in Oklahoma City. It's hard to start playing the GM game of, hey, I need to get myself out of here. It's like you can spiral really quick. It's awesome to have people expecting that much of me. It means I've done a good job of putting myself in a good spot. I expect a lot out of myself. I think I can, run into some balls pretty quickly and get that count up. But, right now it's just locked in for Friday.
You work with Pacheco at all? Jordan
I have,
Pacheco?
yes.
What do you think about him? He's a local guy. He's from Albuquerque High School and everything here. So I'm curious what you can tell us about working with Jordan Pacheco.
Pacheco's the man. He's a great guy, knows a lot about hitting, knows a lot about the swing. Also is just a really good person. And so that's huge in this industry, is being able to relate with guys. And, everybody's kind of got their own language when it comes to hitting. And I think he does a really good job of, being able to communicate and, speak everybody's language. So it's been nice to get to work with him, and excited to work with him more in the future.
And then Friday, opening day. Do you have any opening day rituals, or it's not as much a baseball thing when you guys basically do spring training for like 6 weeks
Right.
and then start?
Right. Yeah. No. It'll still be that electricity in the air of everybody knows like this is the real season starting now. So I mean, just those like nerves and jitters and all that good stuff will be fun to feel. If you're not feeling that kind of stuff, then you're probably not in the right spot. But I'm just excited to get going.